A lot of the times we project onto the Lord, like
how we feel, like
how we feel about about ourselves or other people.
or how we perceive other people think about us.
Exactly. And he's not like us. He doesn't have the character of man, where men are fallible, right? He's perfect. He doesn't waver. He's consistent and he always loves us. And I think once I started learning that he's not an emotional God, like meaning he's ruled by his emotions.
He's not happy with you because you're doing good and then mad at you when you're doing wrong. Like, that's not.
It's bigger than that. It's deeper than that.
I'm going to go beauty and I'm going to list. What do you feel about this?
No, that's not how that went.
Yes, it is.
No, it was like, maybe I should, maybe it shouldn't, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. You were not sure. You were not 100%.
I was not sure about
I
which
know.
branch.
And I basically looked at him and like, because it's emotional for me. I was thinking we were going to like, that's sad for me. It's like,
you thought I was like, well, $1 million out of the air? And
no, I'm like, my boyfriend's leaving. I'm so sad. That's so crazy. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with the Lesters. My name is Maria.
I'm Edwin.
We are the Lesters.
Yes. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah. I feel like it's been forever and a day since we've sat down and chatted with the podcast.
Yes, but it's
with the people.
Only been a week.
I know, but a lot has happened in this week. Do you want to share the news?
Our little cat died.
He was actually the largest cat you've ever seen. He was very rotund. Yeah, I don't know why we're sharing that right away, but yeah, we had to put down our cat Simon. He was only 6, but he had ailments up the waz, so he's gone. And by the way, nobody tells you how traumatic that is.
It was very sad.
I've never put an animal down. I've had a family pet put down, but I wasn't there. Have you ever experienced that? No.
No.
Okay, no. It was really sad. I was there with my oldest son. And he was fine, but I thought it would be sad, but I'm like, I didn't think it would be that sad, and it truly was. So to whoever has recently had to do that or has to do that in the future, I'm sorry, and my thoughts and prayers are with you.
Yes.
Because it was sad. Even Edwin got emotional about it.
Don't tell them that.
I will. He cried.
It's debatable.
You cried. Did tears leave your eyes, yes or no? Before the Lord.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Okay, everybody knows that means yes.
Legally, it doesn't.
Anyway, so R.I.P. Simon. This episode is dedicated to you.
I'm so excited. Title's just, we love you, Simon.
Insert tribute to Simon here.
Yeah.
We'll see if we do that.
We won't.
Okay. Anyway, so today we wanted to just kind of like have a different kind of episode for you. We just wanted to be relaxed and kind of like just have a conversation between Edwin and I and you guys, obviously. But we wanted to kind of just go back and talk about like our faith journey. I hate the word journey, but I used it anyway. But our faith walk, just like what shaped us, and kind of just go from there, like a loose conversation. So there's no overarching topic, but we'll just chat.
Our life.
Yeah. If you're interested. Just kidding.
When did you?
I will say, keep an eye on the Instagram because today we bopped around stores and we bopped around.
That's the second time you've said bopped on this podcast.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I feel like I just like, that's what I feel like we do. Bop around. So I feel like it's the right word. Anyway, we bopped around stores looking for our harvest party costume.
Yes.
Our church hosts a harvest party every year on Halloween Day, but we don't celebrate Halloween. It's just a time for us to get together and the kids to have a safe place and blah, blah, blah. But we love it. I've loved it ever since I was little. Anyway, we're dressing up because we could share it because it'll be after the harvest party. Our kids are dressing up as Bam Bam. The youngest is Bam Bam because that's truly his personality. Isaiah is going to be
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yes, he's obsessed with the teenage. What is that? What is that?
I saw a couple of videos of people who, when they stutter, they just start rapping. They start beatboxing and rapping.
That's weird. Isaiah's going to be Leonardo from the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtle. Is that not right?
No, that's not right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, just sing the theme song.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
Okay, so I can't wrap that around my head, so I'm not going to say it again. And then Edwin and I are going to be, he's going to be Dwight,
Yes.
and I'm going to be
Angela.
Angela, which is interesting because Edwin loves The Office. I am good not watching The Office. It's not my favorite sitcom, though I
It's
am a
more than you're
sitcom
not
person.
good watching it. You will not watch it with me.
We've we've seen it 10 times.
No, I've seen it 10 times. I don't think you've sat down and watched it with me
First of all,
after we watched the first time
I
together.
introduced you to The Office.
False.
Yes, I did, and I know you were going to say that, but I did introduce it to you at Liberty. I literally remember it so clearly. And then he became obsessed. Anyway, I digress. We're gonna be that. Even they ick me out so bad, like their entire relationship icks me out so bad. It's so weird. But we're gonna be them because Edwin wants to do his hair funny. I really think that's the reason. Confirm or deny.
No, that's not why.
What's the reason? Then why weren't you Jim?
Because I feel like you have to be tall to be Jim.
What? Dwight is tall.
He's not as tall as
I'm
Jim.
pretty sure he is. Fact check.
Fact check, you're wrong.
Okay.
Jim is at least 6'4". John Krasinski's 6'4".
Okay, we'll look that up. And what is Dwight? 6 foot.
Yeah,
You should have been Michael Scott then.
he's still like 5'10".
Oh no. Okay. Who
Go
else?
down Andy Bernard.
Andy
He's probably
Bernard.
5'9".
Yeah.
I guess I could have been the temp, Ryan.
Ryan. He's so corrupt. It's terrible. Anyway, that's what we're going to be for the harvest parties. Keep the Instagram because hopefully we take a picture, though we're notoriously known for not taking pictures
Yes.
of any life event. So
That's good. That means we live in the moment.
yeah, we really. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's been going on lately.
Yeah.
We've been watching Survivor. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but we've been watching Survivor. Love Survivor. Edwin's actually debating going on Survivor, so comment.
Okay.
Comment.
I'm not debating. You're telling
I'm
me.
debating putting Edwin on Survivor. I think he would be good, though. I do think there's a potential, depending on the group that he receives, that he would get voted out immediately for insulting people.
Probably the first person. Not because I'm insulting people.
You'd be real with people.
I'd unfortunately be.
Like if somebody says something creepy, you'd be like, dude, that's really creepy.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Oh, why would you say that? Yeah, they'd all hate me after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's judgmental or whatever. Comment below if Edwin should go on Survivor because I think he should. And if we get like enough people to peer pressure him, maybe it'll happen. Okay. Anyway, so we're just going to kind of chit chat about our faith journey and kind of like what brought us to where we are today, big moments we've experienced that helped shape us and blah, blah, blah. So let's get into it. You want to go first? No, of course not. So we'll talk about me first. Any pressing questions you'd like to me that we haven't planned? Just kidding. Yeah, so Edwin and I, we were kind of talking about it. Our outline of how we came to faith is really similar. I mean, if not identical. Yeah, literally identical copies. Let's go through that. Our parents were members of the church we go to and serving and very involved in the community. We both also went there with them and served with them and went to the youth group. And we were at church probably like 2 to 3 times a week, Sunday, Thursday, and then serving during the midweek sometimes. So we were really involved and our families were really involved in church. So that's such a blessing because it's interesting actually going further back than that because our parents, they were people that went outside of their families and got saved later in life, right?
Yeah.
We were blessed because of them. Shout out to them, the people, our parents, that went ahead of that and found the Lord so that we didn't have to wait till we were like teenagers to find the Lord. So later. Or later, exactly. Because I know for my dad, it was like in his 20s, which isn't so bad, but still, like we started from birth, essentially. Like,
not really.
Well, like 4 or 5 years old, being like in the church ever since I can remember. And I feel like I shared before I just always loved church. It was definitely a new thing. Like I remember saying to my dad, I asked him like when we got closer to summer, one of the first years that I was at our home church, and I was like, "All right, so like when do we go on summer break?" And he was like, "No, we don't do that." He was like, "No." My dad's like very like
Blunt.
blunt. It's like, "We don't do that." I'm like, "Oh, okay. We do this every Sunday." I think I was thinking more along the lines is I can't sleep in on Sundays anymore.
That's it.
That is crazy. Never sleeping in on a Sunday when the whole world sleeps in on a Sunday, you know? Not that we're missing out. I really don't feel like we're missing out. It's so like we love going to church and we love being with our church family, but it's interesting to like change that. But anyway, that is kind of how that goes. But in the midst of all that, we definitely were dealing at home with a bit of chaos, to put it lightly, in my house. And the interesting thing looking back at that is my parents had a lot going on. My family had a lot going on. They were dealing with like a bunch of different issues that I won't like detail out. But the awesome thing for me and the most pivotal part of my faith was every single morning, without fail, my dad was in his word, studying it out, talking to the Lord. Even if it was, I don't even know if he was spending hours in his word, probably not. He was a busy dude, but he was always in his word. So in scripture, when it says the righteous man falls 7 times and gets up 8. Is that what it says?
Something like that.
Yeah. I don't know the exact quantities, but I know that it says that. Actually, let me just look at it.
Yeah, it's not that.
I know.
That's the right number, but it's how you said it is different.
It says in Proverbs 24:16, for a righteous man falls 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked are overthrown by calamity. So I saw my dad rise up. I mean, if he had a rough day the previous day, he wasn't maybe like the best example. Love him, and but let's be real, sometimes we're not the best examples, and we have to step back and be like, all right, we need to get back to where we need to be or whatever. He would always get in his word. So that to me, I don't think it's over dramatic to say that shaped my faith because I always saw him seeking the Lord. So I saw a practical application of faith. And as a parent, that even speaks louder to me because you want to be perfect Christians for your kid. You want to be a perfect example, but the reality is you're not going to be. You're going to make mistakes. What you can do, though, is show them a humble heart, right? You can show them that you're going to go to the Lord at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day. You're always going to go to the Lord. Like he's your lifeline. So that's what I learned really young. And I just remember, like, I can literally like see him like in his bed reading his word. And he just always would do that. So shout out, Dad. This is a test. Are you listening to our podcast?
Are you there, Santo?
Yeah,
Are
if
you?
you are there, Santo, call me right now. Just kidding. No, but really call me. But yeah, so he's an awesome guy and I'm blessed to have him as a dad. But that is definitely one of my biggest principles. I tell people that all the time because I think it's just a really cool, like practical, like example of like how to be a good example to your kids. And so
Yeah.
did you have moments like that?
Like what?
Like with your parents?
Yeah, there were definitely times where I saw like my dad or my mom doing certain things, and I was like, for one, I know I like to mess with my mom a lot, but like when she prays, growing up, praying with my mom was like, you
America.
better you better have eaten before. You better have hydrated before because you're not doing anything for the next 3 hours. It was wild. I remember just sitting on the steps. Are we done yet?
On the steps.
Yeah, because like she would just be praying, and Chris would be on the couch. Like my sister would be laying on the floor. I'd be on the steps.
At least she didn't make you like sit at the table.
But that to say, at least like it displayed like the faith that you're even talking about from your dad.
Yeah.
It displays that faith and that obedience, and like maybe in the moment we were kind of like, oh my goodness, when is this going to end? But like the consistency, like we knew that mom was praying, and we knew that she was, doing spiritual warfare on behalf of us and the family, especially in moments when it was like just us and her
Yeah.
for a long time, on and off, just seeing her step up when maybe there wasn't the father figure
Yeah.
at certain moments. And then also like at other times, like my dad, seeing him, really try and study his word and be diligent about that, and just trying to be consistent. So
Yeah.
yeah, seeing that definitely like helps shape and mold children. So
Yeah.
if we can be that for our children, that would be
Ideal.
top notch.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we both had the privilege, and now we call it a privilege. Back then, we were like, these people be crazy. But no, we had the privilege of seeing our parents struggle through their faith. And I say that like this may sound like a bad thing, but it's actually a beautiful thing. They sought the Lord, and the Lord met them.
Mhm.
And through all sorts of, I mean, if they could map out their lives, they wouldn't have mapped it that way.
Yeah.
No way. Like, seriously, it was hard for them. And a lot of times, like, and I'm talking hard, but, and I'm talking about both of our parents, sets of parents, but to see them seek the Lord, I mean, there's actually like no greater gift that I could have received than seeing that. Because, like I said, it did shape our faith. And even, with his family, because we've been together since we were 16.
We've known each other for longer than that.
Yeah, so I know your parents, you know mine, and they've probably, I mean, I know your mom has like helped shape me like crazy. Wow, didn't know this was a tribute to the parents. They're gonna be so
Mhm.
excited.
They're listening.
Yeah, Julia, call Edwin right now if you're listening. This is a test. But anyway, so it's shout out to our parents. They weren't perfect by any means, but they love the Lord, and that's you cannot say that they do not. So
Yeah, I think it'd be harder to see people if they were like kind of phony in it all, like I don't know, like just people who do all the right things, but in the background it's still chaos.
yeah,
It's like they're not really showing the nitty gritty of
yeah,
what it is to walk with Christ, and like I said, the spiritual battles and
yeah,
warfare and stuff like that. Like
right.
it's tough, and sometimes if you don't see that growing up, you don't, you kind of. I think a lot of people maybe fall away because they see it as like, oh, that's phony. Like my
Yeah.
mom and dad had the perfect marriage, and then they get divorced,
Mhm.
like out of the blue, like not knowing that behind the scenes, or they were, maybe not as good as they portray themselves to be.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's a fine line of like what you show your kids versus what you don't,
Yeah.
but they need to know like conflict management. And it can't be like you said, like imagine being a kid, you're thinking everything's fine, and then, oh, hey, we're gonna separate.
Right.
Like, what? You didn't show me any of that. And like, there's a healthy dose, I feel like, of like showing, that you're struggling with things without bringing them into your chaos,
Right.
bringing them into your,
Like showing them humility
yes,
in the repentance of it
yeah,
is
yeah,
is big, as opposed to just kind of hiding it. Like, oh, we're okay, we're
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like, no, like, hey, we messed up, we whatever, but we're coming to the Lord, and we're humbling ourselves before Him, and that I think that speaks louder to children.
Totally, because kids are I mean, just really place if you haven't been to a child in a long time, but try to remember how much you actually saw and took in as a kid. Like they see everything.
Yeah.
Like our oldest is 3, and he could be playing and not thinking we're listening. He's listening, but then he'll repeat a whole conversation we had. And I'm like, oh, he was listening. He was involved. They're always listening because they hang on every word we say. Don't know why we went into parenting advice, but there we were. Anyway, so yes, we had the similar outline of our introduction to the Lord, which is cool.
But I think it wasn't like, with all that being said, like there was nothing like we grew up in the church, yeah, but we had to individually make our own decisions
Yeah.
and walk out our faith. So like what was that for you? Like did you have a moment that you remember, like kind of how did that translate into what your walk is now?
I remember having like a heart for the Lord since I was little. And we talked about this a little bit. Like I just loved being in his word. I loved worship. And the way I grew up in our house, like this sounds sadder than I mean it to be, but I was like alone a lot. We all had our own rooms, and we lived in like a pretty big house. So I would get to like a lot of that time I would spend talking to the Lord. And I think the Lord just protected me. This is how I feel like he was with me. He just kind of put saran wrap around me. It was like, I'm going to preserve you for a time that like you grow up, and I'm not going to let this craziness that you're in right now affect you as badly as it could. And I so appreciate that. Thank you, Jesus. What do I mean by that? I mean, like when it was like a crazy environment when I was little, I would just remember like sitting in my bathroom. Yes, I have a bathroom.
Crazy.
Um,
In that regard, we had completely
yes,
different lives.
yes, we did, really. But I remember sitting in my bathroom or my closet or wherever and just being like praying and like asking the Lord to fill me with peace because, as a kid, when you're in a chaotic environment, no matter where you are or like what you're doing, you just get this like anxiousness. Did you feel that ever? Like just like a
At times,
shutdown,
yeah, at
like you
times.
just want to shut down. And for me, it came out like anxious. And I would go to the Lord and I would just say, please give me peace. And I would ask him to give me peace until I felt peace. And then it didn't matter if the chaotic situation was over and done with or not. When the Lord gave me peace, I got up and moved on and rejoiced in him. And that was really when I like started to see, okay, the Lord is for me. He's not against me. He's going to be with me. Even me, little young me who feels like nothing on this planet, like unseen and unheard and all that stuff. He was still with me in moments that I needed him the most. And for him, like for me, I grew up with an interesting father dynamic. I grew up with my biological dad really not being a part of my life at all, knowing him, loving him, but he wasn't like a consistent figure. And then I had my stepdad who was a consistent figure, but they were going through their stuff. So what he could give me probably wasn't 100%. Like, I think that's fair to say. So when I turned to the Lord, he was always consistent. And that is what broke down like any wall that might have been up against God, against Jesus, against believing in this faith that I so fervently believe in now, went away when I saw him. I walked through the relationship with him as a young girl. Like, I saw his consistency, and man, is he consistent. Like, you call on his name at 3 a.m., he's there. You call on his name at 1 a.m., he's there. At 7 o'clock in the morning, he's there. It doesn't matter like what time it is, where you are, he will be there for you because he loves us and that's his heart for us. Yeah, and he just kept me like a saran wrap. I don't know. Yeah.
Saran wrap, huh?
Yeah, I was saran wrapped
With the Lord.
with the Lord. But like it's so funny because like I would live like that through the times. Like I wouldn't want to go back and like, oh, have the picture perfect family or whatever, because I learned so much about God during that time. I learned so much about Jesus, and that's invaluable. So I wouldn't change a thing if I could, which I
You,
can't.
you truly learn like he turns what the enemy had for evil for good.
Totally.
You just look at our lives, right?
Yeah.
And we can call it, our parents messing up or their parents messing up or whatever, or us, trying, not seeking the Lord. But at the end of the day, like whatever the enemy wanted to destroy us with, like the Lord redeemed us
Yeah.
in it. So yeah, I wouldn't trade it either.
Yeah. It's
I may
interesting.
have it, go a little bit differently. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I think that the trials and struggles are definitely what like shape and mold you
Hmm.
and strengthen your faith in it all.
Yeah. So for you, Edwin, is there a challenge or a time in your life that you're like, this is when I really decided to get deeper with the Lord?
Hmm. Deep question. Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think throughout my childhood and even like doing my time in the military, I felt like a lot of my like I was always running or trying to hide from the Lord in the way like I knew that I was called to higher
Mhm.
things, like to be like held at a higher standard. And I would always like just fall back into whatever I was doing, like in elementary school, middle school, like it was always partaking in the crude jokes and, saying things that I knew I shouldn't be saying. And in the military, it was just like maybe shying away from certain conversations or not being as direct about my faith and like little things like that, I knew I was purposely like
Yeah.
shying away from the Lord or at least shying away from like taking that next step of faith to faith or whatever, like increasing. And then I think once like a year to 2 years, like when we were on our way out of the military, until like coming back home, and even like that first year, like I felt like something had to like change,
Yeah.
right? And it was like I had to step up, and there were times where, what was the question again?
Challenges and that deepened your faith.
Yeah, like what made me turn around?
Yeah. You had to step up,
Yeah, I think I had to just step up and
make a choice.
make a choice to like, well, I think I'm gonna stand for the Lord and be firm in that. I don't know, just have like faith that, you know, goes out and
Does something.
does something,
Yeah.
instead of just hiding away and taking the back seat, and watching other people like do what they were called to do in the Lord. And so, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like you could get by just believing in the Lord and not doing crazy things and blah, 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 right? Like you can. But if he's calling you to deeper levels, you're missing out by
For
not
sure.
going. One, two, like take it away from yourself. There's a calling that we have on our lives that impact other people, right? And bringing people into the kingdom.
Yeah.
Being self-focused is fine, but it's a little immature. Like we need to know that Jesus came on this, he came onto the earth as a man, 100% man, 100% God, to serve, right? And that's what he did. He served other people. He healed the sick. He taught the disciples. He pulled them out, all so that we can come to him, right? So he could be an example. And well, we've talked about this several times in other episodes, so reference those. But the point is like we're to serve. So the callings he puts on our lives, are he designs that so that we can have the most amount of impact and bring people into his kingdom to make heaven crowded, right? I think like I had a similar moment, like with the Lord, just saying like, if you want to call me to more, then okay, like I'll do it with you. Scared.
I vividly remember a time where we had come back from North Carolina, and we like finally lived up here, whatever. And I knew I still wasn't like fully pressing into God. And we went to like a Christian bonfire cookout, and they all started, whipped out the guitars and started singing Christian songs and worshiping. And I'm literally sitting there with my arms crossed, like, what am I doing here? Like, this is crazy. Like, all these people are just singing to God. Like, it's just weird. Like, I felt so uncomfortable. And then like later on, once I finally like, I think I fully like surrender to the Lord. Like I realized like, well, that's what we do. Like we glorify God in everything that we do. And
Yeah.
and so our bonfires look different. Like they're not they're not like drinking and just
Yeah.
eating and just hanging out. Sometimes like we sing Christian songs and we worship God and do different things like that. And I think once I understand that, like I knew my mindset had changed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, like I guess that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, when you're not icked out by the bonfire,
when you're not
that's how you know.
hanging out, it's,
That's
that's like actually, now that I'm thinking back, like I actually could not stand being around Christians.
I know.
But I didn't know.
Well, I know because you would like say
Yeah.
stuff like that to
And
me.
I'm like,
And
what
you'd
are we
be
doing?
like, we're worshiping the Lord. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I'm like, why? Like,
Yeah.
why can't we just hang out?
Be normal.
Yeah. No,
Because
now knowing like it
food is
was,
too good.
now knowing that I was just immature
Yeah.
in my faith and my
You want to be Mr. Cool,
mentality.
Mr. Cool guy.
Yeah, look at me. I won't sing the song.
Basically. I remember my dad said to him one time, we could cut this out if you don't like this, but my dad said to him one time, he looked at him and goes, yeah, so like, why don't you raise your hands during worship? Do you remember that? And I was like, yeah, call him out, Dad. No, but he did it nice. He was like not trying to be rude to you. He's just like challenging you, like,
Yeah.
raise your hands during worship. What's the problem? Be a man. Because men, I feel like they struggle with that, being vulnerable during that. I mean, do they or do they not?
I mean, like I said, it's
Men.
if you haven't like stepped into that relationship part of it all,
Yeah,
like then you're missing out.
it
And
is. Yeah.
I think that's what it is, more than just like, I'm a tough guy, I'm just gonna stand here and not lift my arms. It's like you're missing out on a relationship where, number one, like we're there to glorify God, but then
Yeah.
also like He's there to meet with us
Totally.
and to,
Speak to you.
speak
and
to us.
just to be in his presence, like that song. What's that song?
You tell me, worship girl.
I know, I'm trying to think of it. It went away as soon as I said it. A moment in your presence. I'm gonna I'm gonna know this song later, and I'm gonna be real upset. Tell me it. What is going on? Tell me. Tell me. So for me, the biggest thing I learned about the Lord's character was his consistency. What about for you? What was the big thing you're like? I feel like for everybody it's gonna be different potentially. For me, I needed consistency in my life, so that's what I just saw in the Lord, and I was like, he's so cool that he's like a consistent, loving father, and blah blah blah. But what was it? There's something for you?
Probably that he's not like a judgmental
Hmm.
person,
Yeah.
you know? Like he's not sitting there every time we make a mistake and condemning us, right? He's not
Like, dang it, I
while we're
told
down, he's not pushing his foot in our face and saying, "See what you do, like
Yeah.
see how gross you are, and see how nasty that is," and all these different things. Instead, like he's calling us up and he's like, "My son, like you fell down, come to me again."
Yeah.
You know, like he's sitting there with his arms wide open. So I think like his forgiveness and his love, things that like I've truly like experienced from him
Yeah.
that make me like in awe of him. Like it's crazy because you don't like we can all experience it, but we all have like I'm saying, we all have to step into it. Like we all have to like
Right.
believe what his word says and like fully surrender ourselves
Yeah.
and step into like what he has for us.
Yeah.
And we'll see those things like his love, his forgiveness, and almost like we don't want to see it, right? Like we
Mhm.
feel like we're trapped. Not that we don't want to, but we feel trapped in our sin or whatever it is. And like the Lord is ashamed of me. Like he doesn't want to see me
Yeah.
like this. But the truth is like come to him how you are,
Yeah.
and he's ready
Yeah.
with arms wide open.
A lot of the times we project onto the Lord like
How we feel like
how we feel about about ourselves or other people.
or how we perceive other people think about us.
Exactly. And no, like he's outside. He's not like us. He doesn't have the character of man where men are fallible, right? He is infallible. He can't, he's perfect. He doesn't waver. He's consistent and he always loves us. And I think once I started learning that he's not an emotional God, like meaning he's ruled by his emotions.
He's not happy when with you because
No,
you're doing good and then mad at you when you're doing wrong. Like that's not.
no, he's always just it's bigger than that. It's
Yeah.
deeper than that. Now, of course, he does want us to like live by his law and his will, but it's not so like authoritative, right? Unless he has to be,
Yeah.
right?
It is like yeah. I was gonna say like it is a dictatorship, but not in the way that man views
Right.
dictators. You know what I mean?
Like he's in charge.
Like Lord's in charge and he's not like I'm in charge, so do what I say. It's
No,
like,
we have free will. Yeah.
yeah, I'm in charge. So like look at what I have for you.
Yeah.
Like look at all these blessings that I have for you. And all you gotta do is come.
As far as like further episodes, I feel like we could go into a lot restoration of your families, right? Like we have a lot to say on that. We've seen the Lord be so good to our families and just like sustain us and like keep us together. For me specifically, when I was about 16, 17, my whole family basically imploded. So my parents divorced, my stepdad and my mom divorced, my biological dad passed away. All my siblings were spread out and dealing with XYZ. Edwin and I were, well, that had happened and then we got married and left. So
2 years later.
yeah, 2 years later, when things were still kind of like, not
Fresh.
kind of, they were very fresh. That's how big the implosion was. I've seen, and just, um, what's the word when,
Side note.
no, when you give it away, the end?
Foreshadowing.
No.
Can you give away spoiler alert?
Yeah, spoiler alert. Like we all love each other again. And like my dad's remarried to a wonderful woman of God and my siblings and I are so connected in a much better way than we were even then. The restoration and was amazing. And I think that's the key of my like life up until this point is I've seen the Lord just like restore and restore and restore and restore. And there's so many times he's wowed me, he's knocked me off my feet. And I think in your family, no, I know in your family too, just like things that shouldn't happen. that do like people coming together after like craziness. And that's a lot of the times, like, obviously that's the desire of our heart as kids to like have our family restored again and stuff like that. But I feel like we could do like a big topic on that and just talk about like where our mind was at during like chaotic moments and where the Lord brought us and how we've seen his hand in restoration, even when times when it felt like it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
People coming back to the Lord is a big thing. I feel like we could do an episode about that, but I wanted to kind of talk our marriage. Because that was actually like I would say like 80% of the questions we get is about, our marriage and how we navigated and blah blah blah. Once upon a time,
Long
there
old time
was
ago.
Edwin and a girl named. He's like, "What do you do?" And we dated at 16, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Edwin, we went to Liberty University together. We left Liberty University together. We both lost.
We had no money.
We basically went to college when we graduated, and we both went for one semester, and we both lost the financial ability to go.
Loans.
Yeah, I mean, like we both have gotten like people helping us to go for a semester, and then like that ended for the second semester. We joke about with one of our friends that we met there, and like, oh, well, all that debt is just to meet you, But anyway, so we're back in Connecticut, 18 and 19, and I'm kind of like, what do we do now? Like, I went to school virtually. You were working. He was working, saving up for my ring. Finger. Anyway, yeah, he did work very hard to get my engagement ring, but he worked like a whole summer. But then he decided, right, to go into the Navy, and then we had a choice.
You had a choice.
And let me tell you,
this could not have been a thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember specifically like when, obviously like there was that time frame when we got back to college and we were like, what do we do? So we just working. And I think it was probably very quickly after that we had talked about joining the military. Because while I was in the Liberty, I was like, oh, one of my friends were like, let's, do college and then we'll join the Marines as armies or something, join the Marines as officers or something like that. Like we were planning on becoming officers and still joining the military. But then after that happened, we got lost. We had no financial aid. We couldn't get any loans. Couldn't get anybody to co-sign. We had no scholarships. So we were like, oh,
Correction, I got one scholarship.
Yes, I remember. Good time.
Okay. Just want to say that. Bye.
Anyways, but then I think the plan was still for me to join the military. And I think once like I brought that up to you again, like, hey, like I'm gonna go beauty and I'm gonna enlist. What do you feel about this?
No, that's not how that went.
Yes, it is.
No, it was like, maybe I should, maybe it shouldn't, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. You were not sure. You were not 100%.
I was not sure about which branch.
And I basically looked at him and like, because it's emotional for me. I'm like, obviously it's his decision, but for me,
we're just
okay. I was thinking we were gonna like, that's sad for me. It's like,
you thought I was like, well, $1 million out of the air, and
no, I'm like, my boyfriend's leaving. I'm so sad. That's so crazy. So,
anyways, that was like a pivotal part of our relationship because you literally told me like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I was like, well, what do you think? And you were like, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want for my life. I don't know if I want to like fully do that because then you knowing what we'd get married, you'd come with me across the country, and that's what would happen, right? So you were like, I don't know if that's what I want to do. You still wanted to do like psychology or whatever you wanted to do at school.
Like my plan, I'll tell you what my plan was. My plan was to get my master's degree and then think about getting married. Like it wasn't on my radar. It really wasn't on my radar. Obviously, like I loved Edwin, but I was just like, I'm not like, I have stuff I want to do,
I think that was for both of us. Like we were not planning on getting married.
Yeah. So that's interesting, like to think of, because maybe some people wouldn't be like that. Maybe they'd be like, yeah, we do want to get married. Like I love them so much. Well, going to Liberty University, ring by spring. Like young people get married all the time. Wasn't some like crazy concept, but it wasn't our plan for sure.
No.
When we wrote down our life plan or whatever.
Yeah. But anyways, then Maria, officially came to her senses.
Oh, wait.
You're just kidding.
I'm
And
proud of, you know what?
didn't let this guy get away.
Proud of past me for not just being like, okay, Edwin, anything you want to do? I like thought about it. I prayed about it. I was like,
Awesome. Good.
okay. But obviously, I came to the conclusion that I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got engaged
Yes.
in April. He got me a cat and then proposed to me a month later.
Got engaged knowing that we would join like I would go to the military, I'd go to boot camp, and then maybe when we got to our my first duty station after all my schooling,
Yeah. Started
like
planning the wedding.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'd get married then.
Yeah. So we started planning the wedding, looking at venues, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, it was totally, I don't know who we thought we were going to these venues. Who was paying for that?
Not me.
Not me. We weren't doing that. Let's be real. The Lord spared us from disappointment. Anyway, basically, we met up with one of our friends.
Who was in the military?
Yeah, who was in the military. He was actually a Navy diver.
Yeah.
Um,
Or a dive med tech. But
yeah, he was talking to Edwin, and Edwin was like really seeing himself like aligned with that. Like he would have really liked to do that. And basically, his friend was like, "I'm just saying, like, then why are you waiting to get married? Like, there's a chance like you're gonna be so busy that you won't get a chance to come back and like have the wedding and do the honeymoon and blah 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 because of training. Like, because training is actually a long time. It's not just boot camp.
And mind you, like I had already. This is at this point, like when we met with them, I had already signed like my like whatever
For corpsman. Yeah.
Yeah, signed my job. Like we were getting ready to. I was getting ready to ship out in like 2 weeks or whatever it was.
Yes, time is taken.
So yeah, so we were like, all right, well, I'm gonna, we met with them as our last like hurrah before I left, and then he goes, well, you guys could just always get married, like
Yeah, his wife
or you
yelled at
leave.
him. He was like, "Don't say that. They'll actually do it."
Don't say that. They'll do it. And then I felt like we like looked at each other and we were like,
maybe. And then we went home. We talked about it.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember how we got to the conclusion, like, okay, let's just kind of push forward. We had 3 sets of people that were like, if anybody says no, the answer is no. We're not going to do it. First set was his mom
and my dad.
and dad. So we basically sat them down and said, hey, this is what we're thinking. We had a plan, right? The plan was to join the military. That comes with a paycheck, that comes with housing, it comes with insurance. That's kind of the plan, is like, we'll get married and he'll go to boot camp.
Yeah.
Before he goes, have a quick wedding, whatever. And they said, yeah, we see that and we come in agreement with that. And I was like, I
wasn't expecting that.
We totally were like, because mind you, like, okay, yeah, we're engaged and like, yes, we're adults, but we were like 18, 19. Like our decisions were still heavily weighed by our parents. Like
living at home.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, totally. So anyway, past that obstacle went my dad. I said 100%. 100%.
Even me, I was like, he's not going to say it. This is going to be
No
great.
way Santo says yes to us. Fools. No way.
Are you kidding me? That's what I...
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Because I don't remember. Go ahead, share that.
I think I asked him on my own.
No, you asked him to propose to me. That's
right. No, I actually don't remember then sitting down with your dad. But I know we did. Like, we sat down and we talked to him. Because that was the second yes.
And he said he like easy yes.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Yeah. I could, yeah. And then I basically like...
Okay, third people.
Advice or whatever.
Our head pastors.
Yes.
It was like, and we're like, no way they say yes to us fools. Again, literally no way they say yes to us fools. So we met with them. I think my dad was there.
Both of our parents.
Both of our parents were there. We met with them.
We laid everything out. We were like, listen, like, we're not getting married just to get married, just to say,
Yeah, whatever. Let me preface this, though, because we could have just gone forward. But Edwin and I we were raised for these checks and balances. Like, do not do anything. Yeah. And they will be real with you. Like, they would have said no. They really would have. But go ahead.
Yeah, so we sat down with them and we just laid out everything. Like, this is the plan. Like, if we get married now, like, we'll be able to save up the extra money that we would get for housing allowance. Mm-hmm. And then, she'd move back. She would move with me to my first duty station. We'd get her house, whatever, like we'd be set. Like, and I think them knowing like just our families and like knowing who we were and how like we had, we went to Liberty. So like we were obviously some sort of serious about our faith.
Well, they knew us. They
Yeah,
knew
but
us.
they knew us. But like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we weren't just like out there just wiling out and
Mhm.
then
That's
asking
true.
them for
Yeah.
something. Like they knew, and especially like our plans in life,
Yeah.
like had geared
Towards
like
the Lord. Yeah.
yeah towards us, towards the Lord. So then after all that, like we laid everything out. They were like, yeah, they said yes.
I feel like we would never say yes to this, but we're going to say yes
Yeah.
to this for you guys. And then actually, the biggest thing for them was like, we said we want to get married on a Tuesday. They said we do nothing on a Tuesday, but they actually did do our wedding on a Tuesday. So,
Was it Tuesday?
yes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday.
I think it was Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Whatever a day. They did it on a day that they don't normally do things.
Or maybe they couldn't have done it.
Whatever. Anyway, we planned our wedding in 2 days.
Yes. It was crazy. Like my mom, like we got at it.
To his mother because
Yeah.
she's so creative.
We got married at
She-
a park. She
Yeah.
got all the chairs set up, like we found a nice pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
She set a runner. She set up like desserts and a nice cake. She made us a nice cake. And we got married. And then we,
Walking down the aisle, this is I'm going to share the story because I think it's funny. Walking down the aisle, I'm literally in like a cloud. I'm like, what's happening? What did you think
so
that
this was literally 3 days after, basically 3 days, right?
Yeah.
We had a conversation with our
Yeah.
friends and they said, get married.
Yeah. So I'm like in this cloud. I'm like probably not even thinking clearly. I'm like, what is going on? I'm walking down the aisle. My dad goes, so Maria, I'm too early to be a grandfather. I'm too young to be a grandfather. So do you know about that stuff?
Gosh.
And I'm like, Dad, we do not need to have this conversation. I'm like, you're walking me down the aisle. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the time. But whatever, he was nervous too. He's probably thinking, what am I doing? I'm sending my daughter off to blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so that was it. And then Edwin left for the military
Well,
promptly.
we had a little honeymoon in Mystic.
Yeah, we went to, yeah, it was cute. I
It
mean,
was less than a week. I remember. Oh, so after we got married, we had to go submit our marriage certificate to my recruiter,
Mhm.
and so I'm in my tux or whatever. She's in her dress. Mind you, like I was wearing black pants and
Yeah, it was
a jacket that I got at Boscov's.
pretty cash. Yeah.
And you got a dress from like
The mall, it was like $15. Yeah.
and then
You're welcome, Dad. I saved you a pretty penny.
and then we go to the recruiter dressed like that, and he's like furious. He's like, "Are you kidding me? No, you can't do this!" Like he was so mad at us. He was like,
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, he was really upset. Or I think it might have been like when I had talked to him previously. But anyways, like he was upset because he had to do more paperwork, and I was like, "I'm sorry."
Now we know. Like, come on.
Yeah, I was like, "Really?"
Yeah. Anyway, so then he left for the military like real quick after that, and we were apart for the first 6 months of our marriage because boot camp and then C school, A school, whatever school, B school, D school,
A school and then field med.
school. I know. I just don't remember any. I was not a good military wife remembering all the jargons and stuff like that. And we moved, so like 18, 19, we moved to California 6 months later. Crazy.
On our own. And then the first day we move into our first duty station in 29 Palms, Maria gets yelled at.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. And I know I have a reputation. I've gotten many speeding tickets. Thank you, Lord, I repent.
Wait, what are you
tried to drive.
about?
Are you are you talking? Because I also got yelled at for speeding.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about when you walked into
In shorts.
Yeah, in shorts that were very modest, not
Yeah.
crazy at all. And some high-ranking Marine Corps guy was like, he yelled at me like, "You should know better.
I'm like,
Get her out of here." And I
I'm
was
like,
like,
what kind of life did we sign up
"Look,
for?
I don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
We were both like, "What's happening?" We were living at the motel on base,
Yeah.
because we didn't have housing.
Yeah.
So we lived there for like at least a week or
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting beginning to our marriage.
So through that, I think I just learned that the Lord has better timing than we do. I don't think I don't think we would have wrote out. There's nothing against I love our story. I love how we met each other. I love how we got married. I wouldn't rewrite it at all. It was everything that I wanted it to be, and I didn't even know that. But that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Is like we going on the Lord's timing. And the Lord's timing was not our timing. It was like accelerated by like 3, 4 years. And of course, it's going to be different for other people, but for us, it wasn't what we intended at all. But the Lord had a reason for it. And I'm blessed because I got to marry this guy.
Yeah, you are blessed. I'm blessed as well.
But yeah, it's been quite the adventure, and I feel like I love it. I'm happy because one day we're gonna be the couple that's been married for like 70 years.
Yeah, when we're like 80.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's child marriage, breaking some laws there.
Oh, you said I'm blessed.
That's kind of like bit into our lives and our journeys and how we got here today. Obviously, we have 2 kids now, and that's awesome. Sometimes I look at them though, and I'm like, how'd you guys get here? Do you think that?
Yeah, especially like Isaiah being 3. I don't know. He just
So
seems.
big.
I'm like, how'd you get so big? Like, how are we in charge of another
I was
human?
literally thinking
He's
that.
wild.
I'm thinking there's no way that we're allowed to parent these kids.
No, like,
Because I feel like we still feel like a kid. There's a trend that says like, yeah, I'm just a teenage parent. In my 20, I'm a 28 teenage parent, and I feel that way sometimes. Like so unequipped, but you are equipped. Like
yeah,
you're fine. But it's just crazy to look at them and be like, these are our children. That's crazy.
yeah. Getting old.
It's bad when he doesn't believe that he's going to be 30 in 2 years.
I'm not. I'm only 20.
But yeah, the Lord's been faithful to us. He's been so good to us, so faithful to us. He's kept us and sustained us. And I will say, like, we have a love for him so deep. I have a love for him so deep, and I know you do too. But where we're just so happy to like serve him and stuff like that. And we're not just being cliche saying that, but we really are happy, no matter how difficult it is or what challenges come up or blah blah blah. But we're so happy, yada yada. We're so we're so happy to be serving him, and I can't wait to see like what happens even 6 months from now. Like it's crazy with the Lord. It's like if we're really tapped in and like growing with him and blah blah blah, life looks so different year to year to year. We've grown so much. I mean, I can't even like I wish could write a letter as a 60. Well, I probably could look at my journals, and I do look at my journals. That girl was crazy sometimes. You're like, calm down. But the Lord's just every year, like I saw maturing in me. And part of that is just age, but it's also like a spiritual maturity too. Like the Lord has just been so good, and he's helped me like grow through a lot of hurts. I think when I was that little girl praying for peace in her room, I would be like so happy and just like wouldn't believe the person that I am now with a happy marriage and 2 little kids. Like it would just kind of be a bewildering thing for me.
Yeah, I think that this whole episode could just serve as like an encouragement to people that
Yeah.
you never know where our lives are going to go. Like we can't see into tomorrow, but we can like rest assured that we have a God who loves us enough and is personal in our lives, and whatever decisions we make, like they may vary slightly over time, but as long as we're putting our trust in him and serving and
Yeah.
doing what he calls us to do, like our lives might go like this like that, like, crazy, but like we know that he turns everything for his good.
Totally.
So, which is basically what our life has been.
Yes.
We didn't know what we were doing half the time, but
Yeah. And if you're
we
thinking,
love the Lord and we served him, and I think he honors that. So.
totally. And if you're thinking, wow, there's like, starting the podcast, I've gotten comments like, you guys are such an amazing couple, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Perfection is not a word that we would use for ourselves at all. We are totally like goofballs and learning and blah, blah, blah. But it's not, again, and I feel like we say this probably every episode because it is a misconception about Christianity. It's not about perfection. It's just about chasing the Lord. Chasing the Lord. So.
I'm chasing you. That was your first worship song that you sang. I'm chasing you.
I hope I sounded better than that.
I'm chasing you.
What's the next line to that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Forgot.
You don't remember this?
No.
Yeah, that was your first solo song.
I know. Bring it back. Just kidding. Don't.
All right.
Wrap
it up.
You want to pray us out?
Wrap it up.
You want to pray us out, Edwin?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Go ahead.
Always down for the blessing of the Lord to fall upon me for my praying.
You're crazy. You're crazy. I'll pray if you're
Yeah,
saying
good.
that. All right. Thank you, Lord, for this amazing episode that we were able to sit down and just talk about your faithfulness and your goodness throughout our lives, Father. Thank you for being with us so apparently and consistently. And we just praise you and thank you that our testimony and our stories and our relationship with you can speak to other people. And we just praise you and thank you for the blessing and the honor that it is to even be able to have this platform, Lord. And I pray for each person watching this right now, Father, that they could see your faithfulness and your goodness in their lives, Father, even as they're looking back in their lives, that they can just see your hand so mightily. And if maybe they haven't seen your hand, that they will in the future, Father. And I just praise you, Lord, for every second of our lives, Father, that you have created us just for a time as this, Lord. I praise you and thank you in Jesus' name.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Let's Talk with the Lusters. This is Maria, my
No,
co-host.
I was thinking you would remember anything. Yes, thank you. Make sure to follow us.
Like, subscribe, comment if
Yeah,
you have any comments.
follow us on Spotify,
YouTube,
Apple Podcasts, YouTube,
yep.
Instagram at Let's
Anywhere,
Talk Lusters. Yep.
anywhere you listen,
Anywhere you listen to podcasts. Yeah.
unless there's somewhere that we're not on.
No, we're everywhere. I made
Okay.
sure of it. But anyway, we will see you next week.
Yeah,
And oh yeah, actually our new posting day is going to be Monday.
yes, Mondays.
So we are switching it up a little bit. Sorry if that inconveniences you, but we're going to do Monday as our posting day now.
And
So
hopefully we can fuel your week, be there with you
yeah,
at the start of your week, and
yeah, that's kind of the thought behind it. So
to do life together,
instead of Wednesday, we'll see you next Monday.
us and the people. That's
All
right.
right. All right. Goodbye.
Peace out.